and welcome once again the mighty return of the Strength Hammer Podcast, episode 135. As we're, I have to shout now to lean back far enough, like to get these guns in. Also, my camera's close. My camera's closer.
Right. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I have to I'm so far away right now.
I'm like, oh yeah. There's a 4. I don't know. Yeah. All right, we're dumb. Hey everybody, welcome back to the nonsense. Did you miss us?
Some things have not changed. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, it was fun. So I appreciate everybody understanding that the week off needed to happen, mostly because I was going to a Warhammer event, which I'll be talking about later.
Hey.
And it screwed up the recording schedule. So that was me. It was my fault.
That's all right.
Yeah. But Alex, how you doing?
I'll get a good time with it, so I'm looking forward to hearing when you and Neil talk about it.
Perfect. Yeah, I messaged Neil earlier. I was like, kind of give him an idea of like what the topic would be. He's like, I can nod and ask you some questions along the way. It sounds like fun. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's the problem whenever one person attends an event and the other one doesn't. But
right, that's true. Neil hasn't played AOS for a little bit as well.
He did Brewhammer. He did Brewhammer this year.
Oh, he did. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So we covered that, and it was the same thing. Sure. I nodded and asked some questions, and he told us about the game. So it was a great time.
What does he play anymore?
I think he's playing as Khorne mostly. That's his love.
Oh wow, that's cool. Okay, I've never played against him with Khorne, so that's cool.
That's what I know him as, like the Khorne guy. But
yeah, I don't think so.
But
neat.
Yeah. Well, how are you doing otherwise, Alex? Everything going good out there on the Fit Hammer end of things?
I'm good. Things are going. It's almost the end of the semester, so finals are coming up. Not for me, for my students.
Yep.
So that's for those of you who don't know, I teach sports nutrition as an adjunct professor here locally, and finals are coming up, so that is exciting. And I'm figuring out what I'm going to do with more free time in the summer.
There you go. So, just lift more weights.
They live more, yeah.
Lift more weights. Paint some more models, yeah.
Probably go on trend, hop on that.
Why not?
Hop on deer.
Yeah, sure.
If I'm ridiculously large by the end of 3 months, you'll know what happened.
Yeah. You'll tell me ahead of time because we got to do the journey together.
That's right. No, I would. If we ever hop on gear, we're doing it together.
Yes.
If all of a sudden your two Warhammer fitness influencers get like ridiculously swole, like, what's going on?
It's either trend, by the way. It's either trend or cake. That's the only two ways I'm growing: trend or cake anymore. All right.
I make those occasionally. I'll make memes and I'll like mention trend as a joke, and it's obviously a joke, right?
Yeah.
But somebody always goes in the comments like, "Oh, trend is so bad for you." I'm like, I know.
Yes,
that's a joke.
This is a meme. Do you know what a meme is about? It's about the funny ha-has.
Yeah. It's usually not a lot. There's always this one guy. I'm like, okay, let me explain this to you.
See, that's why you're a better influencer than me, because you'll actually respond to them, whereas I'm like, that's dumb, and go on with my day.
Right. That's fair. That's fair.
Maybe I'll heart it, and that's it. And they're just confused. They're like, what?
Oh, okay. All right. You can also try to gaslight them and be like, no, trend is really good for you. They did studies recently.
Sorry, that reminded me of another meme. Like, I can't wait to find a way to use it. If someone is complaining to you that they're being gaslit, you need to just look at them and go, "But you love being gaslit." And just see them melt down.
Yeah, no, you've told me many times.
Yeah, it's your favorite thing. All right, so trend gaslighting. We're doing good. We're doing
doing great. Yeah, staying on topic today.
What? There is a topic, but we're just trying to get through the precursor of seeing how everyone's doing. I'm glad you're doing well.
Oh yeah, How are you doing?
Oh, and by the way, if you're listening to this and you're one of Alex's students, mention the word lawn to him, and he'll give you a free bonus point on your final exam.
If this somehow happens, I'll give you 5 free bonus points.
Ooh.
Most of my students have no idea who I am. So what I do in the beginning of class, just to introduce myself, I mention some of the things I like working out and whatnot. And I usually will mention Warhammer, and I'll ask, hey, so who here is familiar with Warhammer? Nobody raised a hand yet. Now, I do not know if it's because they feel awkward about it, or they truly just never heard of Warhammer and just... Because it's mostly dudes usually in my class.
Okay, yeah. That's... I don't know.
I'll keep asking, but I always just get blank stares and just feel weird and move on.
That's what you bring. Then you bring in all your Warhammer friends.
Yeah. No, bring my models and be like, no, you guys don't understand. It's cool. It's cool. Let me show you.
Today's class is about Warhammer.
Yeah.
How's this involved in sports nutrition? I don't know, but it's working for a couple of us out there. Okay.
Yeah. There's a few of us who are buff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good. I'm doing well. It was a whirlwind of the past 5 days for me because, like I said, I went to, well, it was supposed to be a 2-day event.
sure.
But then
Right.
had some family plans pop up, so I had to drop day 2. Not because I wanted to, actually, but because family comes
Mhm.
first. And I don't feel bad for me because it was a little birthday celebration. So
I wasn't.
I got lobster tail and crab legs. I was pretty happy.
No, I definitely don't feel bad for you.
No, you
That sounds
shouldn't. Yeah.
delicious.
And then I immediately went into a 3-day trip for work up in Syracuse, which was also full of good food. So
So you're bulking, is what I'm hearing.
I guess 5-day bulk.
Sometimes not by choice.
I actually I did a hotel workout in the classic hotel gym. The dumbbells went up to 45 pounds, everybody.
It's just a testament to how strong you are. That
I
45
know.
pounds are like, you know what? It's not even. It's
That's
not. I don't even feel it.
that's true. I did a quick mile on the treadmill. And like I said, like dips off like the little bench they have. Like
Sure.
did what I could.
Right.
And it was really funny because I got back upstairs to the hotel room and was like, does it even count? I didn't take a picture.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like there's no
Well,
pump. There's nothing.
yeah, there was no pump. I was like, I'm not taking a picture. Who cares? I was trying to like get ready to go to dinner and stuff like that. It was just like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I
45
moved.
pounds.
That's all I'm
It's
at.
hard to make it work. Like I'm like probably a shoulder and an arm workout, but even like chest and back, you have to do so much to actually feel it.
Yeah, like I said, the purpose was just to move,
Right.
really,
Yeah.
at the
You
end of
did
that
that.
day. So I did that.
Right.
And I did lots of walking around that town too. So Syracuse is a good walkable town.
Good.
Um,
Good. Sounds nice.
yeah. But with that said, well, we're getting back into the saddle, Alex. With podcast recording, at least us. I know you and the Grimdark Gains podcast probably didn't miss a week, a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually missed 1 week
Oh, you
because
did?
Eli is on vacation. So
Oh, well, there you go.
I've
Okay.
been a lot of podcasts recently.
Okay, all right. Well, we're all getting back in the saddle. So, like, I'm getting, because that's the theme of the show. So, today's topic on the fitness end is
Whoa.
what?
How's your lawn?
Oh, you're right.
Wow.
You're right.
What's going on?
I'm slipping. You know
You're
what?
slipping.
This
You're out of
LaCroix
practice.
this LaCroix is getting to my head, man. I guess I don't know what's in these fizzy bubbles.
I was getting the vibes that you were moving on to the topic without asking
was.
a question.
I was.
Surely he'll remember this. And
I forgot that the lawn does come first. I appreciate that. Right now,
I got you.
if I walked out into my lawn, I would probably slip again because it is soaked. And more importantly, my lawn, I cut it Friday.
Mhm.
It's been 5 days and it's rained a lot.
Yeah.
My lawn, it's not awful, but it
Mhm.
could use a cut, and it's going to rain the next few days. So I would say it's a little disheveled.
Mhm.
Garden's still looking good and prepped. It's all nice and tilled.
Good.
So I'm hoping maybe this weekend we get a nice warm day, cut the lawn, maybe start the garden, do all that sort of fun stuff. So
Sounds great.
not the best lawn. I apologize. I'm slipping
Okay.
in multiple ways here.
Forgive you.
How is your lawn?
My lawn is great. I'm so sad that I missed the first lawn talk because I couldn't quite, for personal matters, family matters, I couldn't be on the podcast last time we recorded. But my lawn is great. It's been we cut it a few times already.
Nice. Yeah, nice little Instagram post about that too. I saw.
Yes, I did. I tagged you and
Mhm.
mentioned shout out to the podcast. And yes, it was great. I actually just cut it yesterday.
Mm.
And after this, I'm going to go ahead and weed back all the patches that were not cut with the lawnmower.
Nice. Well, assuming that the it doesn't suddenly storm again like it has been off and
That's
on.
the hope. Yeah, it keeps going on a little bit rain, which is not a problem.
You'll
But
probably be okay. I mean, definitely go out there without a shirt on, so like as the little raindrops hit you, you just glisten
listens the
and
rain. Yeah,
you prove
right.
your alphaness in your neighborhood.
Right. All my old neighbors will look at me and be like,
Damn.
weird.
And there's one old guy going, I bet he plays Warhammer.
I wish I was in his class so I can get bonus points.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad the lawn's going well. I'm sad you missed, but understandable reasoning.
Mhm.
Yeah, and actually, I wonder if I should go when I upload this one. I'm gonna see if I can't add like lawn care as one of the topics on our
We should.
show to
We
see how high we can get as a lawn care podcast.
I didn't know there was podcasts on lawn care,
I
but you totally should do that.
I'm sure there is.
That is hilarious. It'll be like, what the heck? The one person who's like really into lawns and Warhammer, like, wow, what are the odds?
Well, that person's gonna start lifting weights too.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's the trifecta.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, it is the trifecta. I don't know why we're here with this lawn, but I love it.
And yet here we are.
I honestly, I'm trying to think back to like I remember when it started. Kind of. I'm like, I think I was just trying to fill for time, and I asked a silly question,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked. So I kept asking it.
Don't remember. No, it's funny because I bet maybe a good chunk of your audience does not actually own a lawn. Like they probably live somewhere in Europe in a flat or in a big city in an apartment.
So we're trying to help them touch grass.
Yes, right. We're helping you out.
Yeah, live vicariously through our lawn chat, because there's a lot of listeners out there that I know are stronger than us. Maybe handsomer. I don't know. Let's give or take.
Well, you know my thoughts on this.
True. We'll see. But yeah, listen. No one has. If you have a better lawn than me out there, don't tell me. I'll feel sad. But actually, if you do, post it. Just post it on like Instagram and just tag us. Be like, here's my lawn. You know what?
Please tag us with your lawn. I would love to see that.
You know what? Maybe I'll do our first giveaway, not because I want to get followers or anything like that, but just because I want to see how many people out there will actually tag us with their lawn. And I'll do a giveaway to someone who does that. I'll think about that for next time. But get ready. Make sure your lawn's pristine.
Do that.
Yeah. All right. With your permission,
please.
Okay. Now the main topic for the fitness side of things. So yeah, getting back in the saddle of things. So we've all kind of been there where one thing leads to another, whether your busyness at work or life pops in the way or travels or whatnot. You realize I haven't been to the gym in quite a while in a serious manner. Or another way to look at it too, I've been doing lots of machine bodybuilding style work for the last 6 months. I haven't touched a barbell. So these little things are like, oh, how do I get back into it? How do I get back on the saddle with that? So let's start with like the general gym principles first.
Sure.
I think. So the hardest part I think you lose whenever you kind of haven't been to the gym in a while is that habit of doing it. As hard as it is to get there where you just want to go to the gym and you feel awful if you don't, it's surprising how quickly that can go away too.
Okay.
Like after I forget what it is, how long it takes for a habit to form, but it's very quick. I think
like 90 days.
Yeah, but I think it's very quick for a habit to be dropped off if you stop practicing it. I think it's less than that.
Something happens. Yeah.
So I think the first thing, if you're trying to get back in the saddle and get back to the gym regularly, is first and foremost, don't beat yourself up that you've been missing.
I love that.
Because then it's a punishment. You're like, oh, I need to go work extra hard. No, you don't. Because unless it's been years, you're probably still in the same relative shape of what you were. Maybe a little weaker, maybe a few extra pounds, but it's not a big deal.
Sure. Yeah, it depends how long it's been. And it's funny, people think they will, like, even I will think that if I don't go to the gym for like a week or 2 weeks, I'm like, oh, I lost all the muscle. And like, I'm so much weaker now. And like, that's not the reality per research. And that's not the reality in real life. Yeah. Now, if you haven't been to the gym for a couple of months, it does take, you're not going to be quite where you were. And certainly if you push it to half a year, it will take some time to gain the strength back. But the reality is it takes so little time to get back to where you were compared to what it took the first time to build that muscle and strength. And I see that all the time personally. I mean, anecdotally, we see that, but also just working with people. I have people who have been out of the gym for years, but maybe they used to do lifting, heavy lifting, strongman, powerlifting, and they get to those numbers, back to those numbers within months, which is ridiculous because it took them many years to get there. And now it only took them months to get back to where they were after not going to the gym for years. So yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. The strength and the physique will come back if you had to take a break for whatever reason. And yeah, don't go hard on yourself. Get out of the all or nothing mentality. It will only hold you back. I still do it, right? I'll skip a workout and be like, okay, that means that tomorrow I got to do 2 workouts. And it's so silly. Like,
It's so
no,
dumb.
don't do that. You're going to just hurt yourself. You're not going to recover as well. And you're going to just inhibit progress. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the next thing to consider too is you're going back, kind of like you said, like you may have lost a little bit of strength, maybe not, but even if I've noticed if I'm vacation, because when I go on vacation for a week,
Mm-hmm.
I don't touch the gym,
Who cares?
don't even care.
Who cares?
I
Yeah.
know like you're the opposite. You will keep going to the gym on your vacation.
Yeah. Because I like it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
enjoy it. Mhm.
But even if I take a week off, purposely or not, longer, or in this case, maybe say I took longer, uh, as I just failed to swallow. Wow, that was fun. Take a sip of my LaCroix here. Hold on.
There we go. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, even if I'm like a week off at the gym because of like vacation or even just like work and I could not get to it for like travel or what have you. When I go back to the gym, I feel weaker.
Sure.
And I don't know if it's not muscle loss as much as it's just, my body's not used to that stress of the amount of weight that I would normally do because it was like I
Sure.
was doing it every other day.
Sure.
So, when you go back, you're gonna do more than you probably think you can, but don't try and do what you used to do, like as you said. Do like 80%.
That's
And
how you get hurt. If you
yes.
try to do as much as you used to do.
Yeah, work up to like 80% maybe if it's been not that long. Maybe it's only 50, and then don't be upset if you're just struggling with whatever it is, but like you're back in the gym. That's the key at the
Yep.
moment, that you're back
Yep.
in there moving.
Exactly. Yeah. The most, what I like to say is the heaviest way to the gym is the front door,
Yeah,
right? You're in there, you're working out, you're getting the habit and discipline back. That's much more important than having a perfect workout because that means if you are disciplined, you create those opportunities for better and better workouts in the future.
exactly. And falling back into your old routines is a good thing to do. So
Yeah.
if you had a program you were following before, go right back to it, even if the weight's
Yeah.
less. If you have a time that works, go back in, like kind of just reinsert it back into your schedule in your life. Um, One thing I would say, if it's only been a month or two, maybe a couple months, I think you'd be fine. Like if you used to do 3 to 4 days a week, you're fine to keep that capacity.
Hmm.
If it's been years, do maybe 1 to 2 days a week, and then build up
Start
that
slow.
capacity. But if it's only been a little bit, you're trying to get back in the saddle because you realize you've been slacking, just pick back that capacity back up because you'll be fine. Your body's not going to get too hurt from doing that much work. It's just the heavier weights where you'll get in trouble, I feel.
Right. Yeah. Especially if you're not used to it. But yeah, I would say an imperfect, following an imperfect program. So let's say you can only make it 1 or 2 days a week consistently, that allows you to stay at the gym and stay consistent and build that discipline is so much better than following quote unquote perfect program
Yeah.
that you're going to give up after a couple of weeks because you could not fit it in your schedule.
Yes. Like I said, get that 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Get those five extra movements in, and then
Yeah.
you're good to go.
Our friend Ben Mudge just today made a post on it, and he
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that he is bigger than both of us, right? Big,
Mm-hmm.
strong guy,
Yeah.
and he says like, "Hey, I only go to the gym probably 4 to 5 hours a week, right?
Yeah.
Because I care about the gym and I care about it, and it allows me to enjoy my life. But at the same time, I want to enjoy other things, like like painting Warhammer, playing Warhammer, hanging out with my friends, hanging out with my
Mm-hmm.
wife, whatever it is.
Yep.
This is a big part of my life, but you don't have to spend 10, 12 hours at the gym. You can if you
No.
want to. Like I love spending time at the gym, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not married, but you don't have to.
No. It's whatever works within your aspect. Like I said, it's and the more time you put in, it's sorry, not more time you put in. It's consistent time is what you're looking for.
Yeah,
And if
absolutely.
you go 4 to 5 hours every week for 10 years, you're gonna be just
Oh
fine.
my
You're gonna be
goodness.
huge.
You're gonna be doing so well.
Yes.
And if we look at the progress, and if you're watching this, it will be helpful. But if you look at the progress, how much time you're putting in the gym versus how much benefit you're getting, at first it's like it goes through the roof,
Yeah.
right?
Newbie gains. Yep.
And even if you're not new, I mean, the first like 1 hour you go to the gym a week is like the most benefits you get. Then second, third, fourth hour, but eventually like fifth hour, sixth hour, you get less and less benefit. And at that point, spending 7, 8, 9 hours is going to be maybe slightly more benefit or even evens out.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, spending more time in the gym actually could be detrimental if it's inhibiting recovery.
Right. Yeah.
So spending the most time in the gym you can is actually not always beneficial, and sometimes actually detrimental.
Which is why you'll usually like you're only going to bench usually once a week
Yeah, yeah, and there's a
because
big
your body won't recover in time. Like you can hit legs twice a week. Sure, they're bigger muscles. The recovery is different. Blah 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 blah. But
genetic variant, and you have to know your own body, right?
yeah.
It's funny because right now, I'm not sure if you see this, or I just see it because I live in that world. There is so much debate between these influencers online.
Oh, like
They're
the science
always
influencers.
dogging each other, and it's a debate between science-based ones and the bro ones, and it's all the same, and it's so silly. And it's like, you guys should be on the same side, but instead you just bicker with
Bicker.
each other like married couples.
No, I'm kind of in that mode lately where I'm just like you start seeing the cycles and like
It's the same.
don't take offense to this. I'm in that mode of like I'm sick of influencers right now.
Yeah.
You're all saying the same garbage, and I know it. Like, and I don't.
It's just drama.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's just drama in the fitness space. And I'm like, this is not what I'm in the fitness space for.
Right.
It's for the drama. So lately I've just been like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't. And it gets so old so quickly. But all of this to say is like, yes, we have research, and research is really helpful, and optimal things are great. But also you have to do what works for you.
Right. And just go to get you anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. Get back in the salad. Just go do it. Just stop.
Yeah, just do it.
I would also say it is helpful that if you have Ronnie Coleman blasting lightweight in your ears when you're heading back to the gym, that's a great way to get back in the saddle too.
Lightweight, baby.
Actually, it's funny. It did it popped up in my feed recently, and I was having like a lazy day, and it was like, and I shared it. It was like, I don't know who needs to hear this today, but like, woo! And I'm just like, I needed to hear this today. Yeah, like it's like, yeah, let's go move the weight now. Let's do it. That's it does work.
A legend.
Yeah.
I love Ronnie. It's funny because almost I feel like every second post I make on lifting weights, I'll have somebody say lightweight, baby.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Nothing but a peanut. Yeah. No. Any other things come to mind for like how you get back in the saddle for someone new? Or not new, but someone getting back to the gym after being gone for a while. Any tips? Any tricks?
Just focus on discipline and going rather than focusing a perfect program. You can always scale up. The one thing I will say, and people don't like hearing it because they're motivated. They're like, I want to go 5 days a week, 6 days a week. I got this. I'm like, you got this right now, but you do this and you realize that it takes time and you don't feel motivated every single day. So start much lighter and with much lower volume and time commitment than you think you want to do. Like literally, if you're motivated, whatever you want to do, cut it at least in half.
Right.
And you could always scale up.
It's like painting a model. It's easier to add paint. It's harder to remove it.
That's true. Yeah. That's very true. Yeah.
But, well, I mean, what you would do in that case is you wouldn't remove it. You would just throw the model away. Because you were like, I'm not going to the gym anymore because it's too busy.
That's very true.
That's how the analogy would work.
And honestly, like even I get caught in that trap of like, well, if I can't have the perfect workout, I'm just not going to go. Which is so stupid.
It's
like, okay, if I can't get maximum gains, I'm just gonna get no gains. Like that's such a weird way to think. But even if I fall into that trap, or like, because my workouts, because I do really enjoy the gym.
Yeah.
So my workouts for me to have a great workout usually are like 2 hours, right?
Right.
And if
that's because you take like 3 hours between your sets.
I do take a long time doing
You take a long.
I do take a long time doing my sets. But if I have only like 30 minutes to go to the gym, and which is enough to get a lot of work done, I'm like, nah, not worth it. When reality is like, it's amazing.
Yeah, I've had great 30-minute workouts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, honestly too. Like some of it, you know what I kind of miss? I've been missing lately. I can do it whenever because I know how to do that sort of stuff. But like, kind of missing the CrossFit a little bit. Like this is gonna suck for the next 20 to 30 minutes.
I see what you mean.
And then you do a little strength afterwards. Yeah, like I'm like, But also, it's been nice, like, been adding a lot more cardio lately, so I think that's why, too. Like, that came back quicker than I thought, my cardio capacity.
Oh, cardio comes back so quick.
Yeah.
So much quicker than strength.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Also, since I've been working out with the wife, you'll appreciate this, and everyone out there, hopefully, too. I finally got, like, every like, workout we do, like, I'll get, like, one more, like, gym bro thing clicking in her brain in the right way. Sure. Just like I'll mention it and I'll figure out how to say it the right way, and it's like oh, okay. Last time she was kind of struggling like with can't remember. I think it was a shoulder press.
Okay.
That's probably, yeah. Woman's shoulders are weaker than mine, so
Hard movement already.
right. But she's doing it. And I was like, okay, like, if that weight's too much, do less reps and focus on it and all that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
And she's like, it's just too heavy. I'm like, no. If you can move it, it's lightweight. It's not too heavy until you can't move it. And I saw her stop, and I think it's like, there's that level of exhaustion, and she's like, yeah,
Sure.
okay, all right. I'm like, yes.
It clicked.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Well, it's true. Yeah, if you can move it, it's light.
That's
Sorry,
right.
that's what it is.
Light enough for you.
Yeah. If you can't move it, it's heavy. That's the two options.
Absolutely. Yeah, and another thing I want to say is it's something actually I experience sometimes
Mhm.
is if you go too hard too soon and like you said your body's not used to it, you're just not going to have a quality workout,
Yeah.
right? If you're tired, if you're fatigued, if you can't focus, you significantly increase likelihood of injury and you're going to get sloppy,
Yeah.
right? So ease into it and scale up.
And maybe that first workout is crazy good, but guess what? Your DOM's going to kick in. You're going to feel worse.
Right.
That next work,
Right.
Yeah, and like
There's only so much fatigue your body can handle, and if you're just getting back into it, your body's not used to it. Your central nervous system is not adapted to it yet.
Yeah.
So ease into it, and you can always scale up. You can always scale up to a certain point, but yeah, start light, start small.
Yep. Perfect. Well, if you've been missing the gym or being lazy, I hope you're back in the saddle here soon. I know.
Me?
No, not you. No, I know you're fine. I see your stories. I see you in the gym when I'm laying in bed. I'm like, the fuck's that guy doing? Like, come on,
Yeah,
man.
it's
Get some sleep.
honestly it's something I'm working on right now, actually, and we could probably do a whole podcast on it. Because I have my own business, right? And
Right.
I have my own schedule, and I can work whenever I want. I can go to the gym whenever I want.
Right.
So it means I can go to the gym at 10 p.m. I can go to the gym at 9 in the morning. Doesn't matter. So that's the problem. We're like, well, if I want to, I'm going to go to the gym late, but I'm trying to get a bit more on schedule with it.
Yeah.
Because it's not actually as healthy for you to do that if you have the other option.
Right. I mean, heck, even if you give yourself a window, like, hey, here's my 4-hour window on Wednesdays when I can go to the gym.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Like, I don't think you need to be like I'm corporate world stuff. So I'm like, okay, here's the time between this time and this time's when I have time to go to the gym. So that's when I'm always going to do it.
Right.
Granted, it's what I've always done. So I'm used to it. But like, yeah, you can be a little more leeway, but you need to give yourself the rails.
Right.
And also make sure you put in there, like, every couple days, an hour, paint your models.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that, Alex.
Yeah.
I saw your one meme post. You're like, "We mean I don't want to paint models. I'm just gonna go to the gym." Like, no, you gotta do both. Or I'm just gonna start calling you Fit. I'm not gonna call you Hammer anymore.
Just Fit. Yeah.
Just Fit. Fit _.
I'll keep losing letters. For every day I don't paint minis.
Oh, here's a meme. You can do like Fit _fit. And it's just nothing but gym, and then do Hammer _hammer, and it's just nothing but painting. And it's just...
Right, and I just always post on Fit and never post on Hammer.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, I just need, you better believe that I'll have a lot of hobby coming up for the tourney we have in May.
I believe it. I'm sure people out there most people are used to my BS on social media, but when's the last time I posted anything gym related? Actually, it's been a lot. It's for me. It's been a lot of Warhammer, retro video game stuff, and travel.
You do good on stories, but I don't know if
stories are good.
Post very often on regular posts.
Okay, about a week ago, I did a meme.
That's something.
Yeah, I should probably post something gym related. I'm retro hammer right now.
I'll go to Fit Strength, and you can go to Hammer.
There we go. That's done. Shake. All right. Well, with that, we do have some news to talk about here before we kind of wrap up. See what your hobby's actually been, because you are doing hobby.
Yeah. Not a lot lately.
Well, anyway, yeah. Let me bring it up. I was talking more about the fitness stuff. It's like, I'm sure people have noticed on the stories, like, you'll see like pictures of water bottles or like our feet. My wife does not want to be on camera, so that's why like the gym pictures aren't always as exciting lately, because
that's why you gotta give her the phone and let her take a video of you doing the exercise.
I should. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. News. Boom. Congratulations. We have some more Warhammer heroes.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yep, and as
It seemed like there was a lot this year. Is that normal amount or?
well, don't forget there was like there was like a year or two gap during like the it was 2020 and stuff like that. Like things got kind of delayed,
Sure.
but they had some last year.
Okay.
A lot of unfortunately last year was odd. There's a lot of like posthumous ones of great people who had passed away for various reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm glad that this is back and being much more regular. Like I said, I was blown away whenever I got it based upon the nominations from folks like you, Alex, and other club
Mm-hmm.
members. Um, and I'm gonna put this out there: if people, why aren't you nominating Fithammer? Come on, brother needs to
I
be
didn't
in
talk
this.
about it.
Um,
But yeah, it'll be cool.
no, yeah, it's fun to see some great people, and it's funny too because like some of these guys are given like some amazing headshots. I'm like, well, I was like the first or second, I was like the second round, I think, and I'm like, it was just a picture I had.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah.
it was a
I
good picture,
scrolled
but
down to like I went when they made that article. I went down to like find you because I just like doing it every time they do it, and I'm like, yeah, it's just not the best shot. It's okay, but
it's an
it's
okay
not as
shot.
good looking.
Yeah, I'm like, well, now some of these like professional guys got going on here. But
Yeah,
anyway,
and also you weren't flexing them, so what the heck?
that was before Strength Hammer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Really?
was going to the gym, but I was not Strength Hammer yet.
That's crazy to me. Wow.
Yeah,
Huh. I feel like you've always been strength hammer, but I guess not.
it was maybe it was I was I'd have to look. I don't think I was Strength Hammer but yet.
Hmm.
I like maybe it was like early starting, but like anyway, getting
Yeah,
off there.
interesting.
But yeah, congratulations to all the recent winners. Some shout outs to the ones I know personally. Luke
Ah,
Stone, big Age of Sigmar legend. If you have been in an Age of Sigmar Facebook group in the past 10 years, chances are it was started by Luke and he moderated most of it. So he
fair.
helped organize a whole community through that. Yeah, look at Aaron Moshe here. Like, damn, man, you look good. Austin Featherstone,
Yeah, is that
also.
small word?
That's a great smile, man. Um, let's see. Tom Megans as well. He is he comes over. He's not he's an Age of Sigmar TO of Legend. He AOS Worlds. I think he helps organize that. I'm not sure his whole enrichment, but he's a big part of that. He comes over for the Warhammer World Championships at the end of the year and everything like that.
Hmm.
So I don't know him very well, but times I've got to talk to him, great guy, very knowledgeable in Sigmar too. And
Nice.
I think he's I want to say Dutch. um, but I don't want to also
Right.
because yeah. But let me see here. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Yeah, Dutch. Okay, yeah, and I think he's the heart of the whole Dutch scene. I listen. I know I have a friend who's Swedish, and trust me, it's like the Civil War. You better make sure you get it right because those
Oh, I
Scandinavians need
got
to know
you. I
exactly which
got you.
Scandinavian they are.
That's hilarious.
Um, but yeah, like I said, lots of great mentions. I haven't had a chance to read through all this yet, so I hope everyone else has. But yeah, congratulate
Mhm.
them. Be sure to continue to nominate as they pop up because there's lots of great legends out there that still need to be recognized. And we're looking at the honor roll here. We're gonna scroll down. Where
Hmm.
is my picture? Is it the one in front? I think it's me in front of Warhammer World. Actually, I think that's the picture. Oh boy, we're in a rabbit hole here. Sorry guys, I want to see my Warhammer hero picture.
All right.
This is the
Okay.
podcast content right here. Hey Andrew Dart, yeah, here's my class.
There you
Okay,
are.
Mike Brandt. There I am. Check more. Yeah, that's me. I'm in front of Warhammer World.
That's hilarious. I mean, it's appropriate, so I like
Yeah, yeah,
that.
it works. It works. And Dan Gomez, handsome man. And Carl Tuttle. But anyway, one more bit of news here. We're getting new Daughters of Cain models in 2025.
Ooh.
Hot damn. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Um,
they're cool looking.
yeah, I don't care about Underworlds.
You're right.
I'm gonna say that
Nobody
outright.
cares.
I have it set aside. I don't care about it. Um, that's fine because they give us great looking models. So these are
It's
not.
funny because
Oops.
I'm on social media interacting with a ton of people, looking at stories, right? And I've literally never seen anybody post or that they're playing Underworlds ever. Just
Yeah,
never seen it. Just never seen it.
I'll see people paint the models.
Oh, absolutely. They use models for everything.
Yeah,
I think besides Underworlds.
exactly.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Uh,
Yeah, so these are the Knives of the Crone. So they're based upon Cthulhu. That's her kind
mhm.
of servants out there. Um, I love this leader lady. Was it Seer Karina Vix.
Hmm.
She got like that little like just that power pose coming down. Looks awesome. Her hair, I love the high ponytail. Um, the Batman one is a little interesting. Some people don't like it. I don't mind it, but also I'm a shill for Daughters of Cain, so I'm gonna love it no
Sure,
matter what.
you'll like everything they release.
Yes, but I love her openness. Like that's a pretty cool like pose. Like, and I'm thinking too, if they ever decide to give us an update of witch elves for whatever reason, that would be,
Sure.
yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, I could see the influence there.
Hmm.
Then these other two, a little crossbow, so a little range, and like I said, I'm gonna build and paint this and have a great time with it. Um, the one thing I am liking is seeing between the new Dodge Kane models we've gotten, and then obviously these are also new Dodge Kane models, but
Hmm.
like this little like little belt with a little hole in it, the way the straps work, I think we're seeing a lot. Like this is the new version of Dark Elves, and it's fun seeing those design aesthetics branch out across it.
Sure, sure. No, they're cool models, and
Yeah,
Daughters of Cain get a lot of love pretty consistently. So it's cool to see.
yeah. I'm always thrilled to see Doc get some love. Doc and High Elves, man, that's it. I don't know why I actually have any other armies. If I'm telling you, like,
It's funny because I think for a while you went on a spree of like just getting new armies all the time, but now that the Hiles are officially out, I think it's going to be a while before Chuck Moore doesn't. I don't know. You just did Seraphon though, or the Lizardman for Old World, so
yeah,
maybe
that was like a project though, like more than I actually cared about. Like I love
that's fair.
I enjoy it. I'm glad I did it, but like the project was
Sure.
more, how cheap can I do an old world army? And apparently $240 is pretty cheap.
It's really inexpensive. Like especially if you don't really care about your army composition, it's so inexpensive.
Yeah, yeah. Um, that said, then I have spent like twice as much on my high elf stuff because
Right.
I'm looking at
Right.
high elves right here. I have high elves on the desk behind me. I'm gonna probably buy more high elf stuff. I'm still waiting for the sky cutter to ship. I don't know.
Yep. You want all the toys. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're it's kind of like I'm already close to that peak of having way too much already. You might as well just go to the top,
Oh,
right?
just go for it. Yeah.
All right. Well, news segment out of the way. Alex, what hobby have you been getting on?
So it's been a lot of lore, not lore, sorry, a lot of books
Oh, nice.
recently. I
Okay.
actually actually finished two Godric and Felix books.
Dang,
Yeah, because I think last time I still have not finished Dragon Slayer.
it's a good
So
one.
I
Yep.
finished that. Oh, it was phenomenal. It was so good. And then I read Beast Slayer in like a week.
Okay.
It was phenomenal. It was probably my favorite one to read, but not my favorite book because I did not. The ending felt a little bit like stopped abruptly.
Yeah.
Um, but Dragon Slayer is probably my favorite one so far,
Yeah.
and I started Vampire Slayer, so going for that right now. And in addition to that, I've listened to Inquisitor Amalius,
Okay.
Inquisitor Eisenhorn Amalius, and now moving on to Hereticus. I've been really, I personally don't love usually 40K books
Right.
or lore as much, with a notable exception to Gaskell, because that was
Yeah, that's
hilarious
your
and all.
boy. That's your boy. Yep.
um, but yeah, I just can't get into it. Like I kind of listen to the lore and read the lore. I just don't care as much. But in the Eisenhorn books so far have really been very enjoyable.
Good.
It's hard for me to listen to an audiobook at the gym because I need to focus, and I've actually have been to listen to it, enjoy it, and actually get my workout done with it.
I do have a few of the Gotrek and Felix. They were short stories in
Oh,
audio
sure,
form. So I
sure.
have some of those. I'll have to give them to you to
Yeah,
enjoy
I'd love to
because
listen to them.
I mean I think they're like maybe one or two gym sessions at most you're gonna get out of it. Like they're not super
Sure,
long, but
sure.
they're good.
Yeah, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I'll have to see. Like I don't think that they're kind of tied into like the overall plot. I think they can kind of go wherever you want without spoiling anything. But
Yeah, I've read a few, and usually they're not. They're just kind of like random stories,
yeah,
and they allude to things very vaguely. And then besides that, I've I cleaned up the hobby room because it was a bit of a mess,
sure.
and I've organized some of the kits and units I need to prepare for our tournament in the end of May
Mm-hmm.
for Warhammer Old World. So I probably actually do have like near 700 points I got to paint
Oh boy.
until the end of the month. Yeah, which is it should be reasonable enough. But I got to build it, assemble it, prime it, and paint it. So that's going to be my project for the most likely entirety of the month for this month.
That's fair. I mean, it's a good project.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show pictures of it later. But I did paint up. I got the new High Elf Lord kit.
Nice,
So I
nice.
actually have a
That's
mounted BSB that has a real BSB, not like the little attachment that I've done sometimes. So I painted that up, and I realized now that I have the whole army sitting over here on my hobby table, just ready to go. Play game, boom, wherever. It's all 100% ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've encountered a different problem.
Okay.
Like, I'm painting, and I'm keeping busy and all that stuff. But I'm like,
sure, I see that, yeah.
What if I just build this other list? Let me see how this would do. How would that hold? I mean, like, I'm thinking too much on like different lists. I should just play that and move on with my day and not worry about it. But
okay,
can't help myself.
So you're actually considering switching up your list entirely for the event?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I know how strong that list is. Like,
sure,
it's fine. But like, I might play with tweaking that a list. But there's not much I can tweak in it now. Like, it's kind of maximized to the potential. But I want to maximize another list of potential to see what it looks like.
Oh, well, if you do, let me know, because I'd be intrigued to hear, because the list you have is really good, and I mean, I think it is better than than, if I'm honest, I think it's better than Neil's more or less optimized list.
Gotcha.
That I got to play last time. So I'll be interested to see what you do with it.
We'll see. It's sitting out there. It's ready to go. But we'll figure it out. Also, I haven't seen. I'm not sure if they put out the full pack yet. Not that I think they're not going to do any comp. Yeah. But I think they might put out some scenarios. And and if they put out scenarios, which is all fair and good, that might make me switch things up, because I'll be like,
that's very true. It's very true.
Or I just go with the whole mentality, like Daughters of Cain, which you'll hear about in the next segment. They'll just run forward and kill you before you score, or lose, or I lose.
Okay, that's right. I like that strategy. Yeah, I've been interested to see. I wonder how balanced the scenarios will be, in a sense of, like, some of them you kind of have to stay and defend your zone, versus you have to protect the middle or go into your enemy's territory. I wonder how, because usually fantasy scenarios are relatively basic.
Yes.
Right. So I'm interested to see if he throws anything in that's unusual, to put it that way.
We'll see. I should probably go look. He might have already put it up and I've just missed it.
That's
the downside when I travel, by the way. Like, I'll post stuff, but like, even friend chat groups, I don't know why. Like, I'm just like, that's worlds away and I don't even think about it. I come back like 3 days later, I'm like, what happened to everybody? What's going on?
I don't blame you. You got to focus on the travel, vacation especially, or work.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Well, Alex, it's nice to be back in the saddle again with podcast recording.
So good to be back.
So good. We're lawning it back up. I'll make sure. I'm gonna ask Neil right away. Be like, Lawn,
tell me now.
Go. But yeah, we will see you, Alex, next week. Whereas I'll see the rest of you guys in 10 seconds.
Bye.
Okay, there we go. I hit the start recording. I heard the hard drive spin up, and it took its sweet time. But it's going. We're going. So, Neil, we're back on the saddle. Took a week off because of me. My fault.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're making content for this very podcast.
I am. I've made so much content. This is the most content-filled content you've ever seen.
It's all content.
It's all content, baby. I don't talk to anyone else unless they're on this podcast, because it might be content. My mom calls me. I'm like,
yeah,
might be content. Don't want to waste it. Neil, how are you doing after a couple weeks?
I'm doing good. No problems. Been hobbying away here and there. Been playing too much old world, like normal, when I should be painting models and getting ready for this event we have coming up at the end of May, which, by the way, it is May now. So
we have exactly.
The onus is starting to feel real. So now I will get some paint on some models.
1 month, pretty much 1 month ago. I mean, where's that army at for you? Like, what you have the big stuff done. You just gotta get through like the.
All I have to do is really get through Lava and Sigmar.
Well,
this can be kind of a pain. I mean, there's 23 of them, and they tend to be more detailed models, but these are 3D prints, so not the same as the GW ones, which those ones that I originally did, like my original ones, not the ones that I recently did.
Metal ones, yeah.
I tried to do box art and everything. I took a long time on those buddies.
I get what you mean though. My army's sitting over there. Like, and I painted the last thing I kind of needed for it. But it's a lot of really old. Like the very first core of my high elf army way back when I started it, with like all my new stuff. So I'm kind of going back in and like updating a few colors, kind of blending it. I'm not going for best painted, obviously, but I want it to be a little bit more uniform. So I've been kind of doing that off and on when I should just be painting the stuff that's unpainted behind me and to my left here.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
when I do that, I'm painting over the dust that has settled on it. Spruce it up a little bit.
well, we're going to talk about dust settled on an army when we get to my stuff. But maybe before we talk any more hobby for you, I know it's a lot of printing for good causes, but I got to ask, because I almost forgot to ask Alex, how's your lawn?
My lawn has been, since we last talked, it's been mowed multiple times. And recently was mowed just before all this lovely rain that's coming through. So it's looking green, emerald green.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the backyard where we got some ground ivy. Not great. Don't like the ground ivy. Neighbors hate the ground ivy. I'm not going to pay to do anything about it. So we'll let them deal with that as it creeps ever closer to the property line.
Neil's going to be a dwarf about this and just be mad and write it down somewhere.
Yeah. So this is nature's way of moving the lawn forward, and who might have stopped that?
Hey, listen. Well, I can't. Is that more Wood Elf of you, or is that more Averlorn? Okay, let's go Averlorn. Keep the high elf theme on that.
Let's keep it high elf centric, at least a little bit this episode, right?
At least a little bit. That's good. Yeah, I mentioned too. Just I cut mine before I went to the GT. Then a birthday party. Then 3 days of work trip. Then I came back, and today's my first day back. And it's raining, so mine's a little overgrown right now, and it's very wet from all the rain. Which, knocking on wood, I had a lovely dinner tonight with my wife, and we watched we're deep into this episode, the biggest fucking storm I've seen in a while. Just skirt past us, like off in distance. I was like, you could see, like you can see the clouds. You could see the rain obscuring the mountain.
Wow.
And like thunder rippling through it, and like I'm sitting there going, sucks to be those people over there. Here, it's beautiful. I love it. Ate my curry, had my LaCroix, it was all good. It was gravy.
That's the neat thing about living on some elevation. I live on just enough elevation so I can see nothing at any time. And I'm not flat enough to like just see out into the distance.
Oh.
So it's like you don't get, it's like somewhere in the middle.
Yep. Fair. Well, with the lawn talk checked off, as we get back into the saddle here, hobby. So I know it's a little bit hush hush for good reasons, but just generally, what is your hobby, Ben? Just so the people are aware.
My hobby has been printing and building said print models. So I have built a unit of, let's see, how many in there? About 23 guys, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have built another unit of 9 guys, and I've built a single hero. So it's coming along. I think you probably got about 1,000 points in that racked up already. So
probably with items and such. Yeah, I believe it.
I was, I can't even really talk about that too. So I was, I guess I can't.
Yeah.
So there's some things some STLs I was waiting on a certain company to come out with. They
Right.
have in fact come out with those models, and so now I can proceed with that project.
Yes, and unfortunately, I think this podcast is halting that progress because Neil was downloading earlier, and he was below PS1 graphics, which I get the same whenever I do that type thing too. So good. Well, I'm glad. I look forward because the last reveal was an amazing army for our friend Matt. We will see what this reveal might be. It could be terrain. It could be a display board. It might be Neil's new army he's going to surprise us with at the event. You don't know. I know. The rest of you don't know, and you're not going to know.
Who can say?
Who can say? Well, let me bring up my hobby here. It's gonna be and this is gonna kind of blend into the main topic, which is the Warpstone Wars GT I attended this past weekend. But the weekend before that, I've uploaded these pictures in chronological order because I didn't think that through. I had a club day here in my town with my essentially my monthly club, not my weekly club. And it was an open day, so there was some 40K going on, some historicals. Oddly, I thought there was going to be people showing up with Old World. No one did. That said, it's the first time I was kind of semi-grateful that didn't happen because I needed to get practice in with my Age of Sigmar army.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a total of 5 games of Age of Sigmar under my belt for this new edition. Far cry from the 50 or 60 I probably have for Old World at this point.
I think I'm around 10. I think I'm around 10 games at AOS this edition so far.
Okay. Well, I'm up to 10 now as well after everything we've done.
We're pros. Cheers.
But yeah. Cheers with the water. I'm being good tonight. So I got to play some Age of Sigmar, took out my tournament list, and I what I did is I submitted my list to the GT, even though it was like way early. I said I am not changing this because I don't know how to change it anyway.
Yeah.
So our one club member Ed showed up with his Nurgle, and so my list, a unit of 20 Witch Elves with double daggers, unit of Sisters of Slaughter with shields, unit 10 Bow Snakes, 5, and then unit 5 Bow Snakes, 5 of the melee Canare, Bloodrack Shrine, Slaughter Queen on Cauldron, and a unit of 10 Doomfire Warlocks, and a High Gladiatrix, who was Tayrathi, as you do. Mostly because the interesting thing about this event is they were doing a Highlander award. So best of if you don't duplicate any models, or don't duplicate any units. And I was like, sure, that sounds fun. And Doc doesn't seem to have too hard of a time doing that and still being capable of applying pressure and such. And I'm very much tired of the spam that I've been seeing, like at least from the small stuff I've seen. So I was like, yeah, I'll do Highlander, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. It actually made the list building a little bit more interesting.
Nice.
Just a little bit. But yeah, I played against Ed with his Nurgle, and I think we did. I should get my book anyway. We did the one where there's the 4 objectives, 2 in the edge, 1 in each of your deployment backfields. Yeah,
Classic Diamond.
Yeah, classic Diamond. And let me tell you, I was like, okay, I kind of know how Doc's gonna play. I'm probably gonna make some mistakes. The superstars of this game were these Doomfire Warlocks. And keep in mind, our goal for this game too, like I dropped 2 tactics, he dropped 2. I just was able to outscore on the objectives. Him and Ed didn't have many games in either, so like we established before we began, like, what's our goal of this game? And it's like, I want to understand the flow of this game above everything else. Remember how to play. Try not to forget all my rules. And we both accomplished that, so that's both win there. Just because I won on points, doesn't matter. We both had a great game. My Doomfires were amazing because they're 3 wounds each. That's 30 wounds that Nurgle couldn't get the hurt out through them. I'm like,
wow.
Yeah. I held up his, like, pretty much a quarter of his army with them. Max buffed up,
What's their armor save?
I think it's only 5 up, but I was usually getting them a 4 up, and eventually got the Cauldron close enough that they got the 4 up from the Cauldron aura, so I didn't have to use the CP after a certain point. Plus a 6 up ward. It was pretty nasty.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, and then I knew, like, the snakes were going around, they were shooting, picking off heroes, but it was still like, I'm like, oh, this is a lot to get through. Just like, it's Nurgle. They should be hard to get through. I was clenching the whole time.
Yeah.
But a buffed up unit of Witch Elves, fully maxed out, did good work. It still took turns, and I was kind of living a little bit on like some good ward saves, to keep enough around to finally get everything down. But yeah, like I said, managed to pull out the win just from the objectives alone, because really, I think it's because I had shooting and he didn't, and the fact that those Doomfires just blocked off the front of his stuff, and he kind of was choked in on himself a little bit. Yeah, so good game. And like I said, we accomplished our goal. We both learned how to play this game again.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. Do you feel like your witch elves were as hitty as they have been in past editions, or they give you at least the feel that you were looking for?
They were the most oppressive I've ever seen them.
Oppressive, you say?
Yes.
Wow.
I that said, you can only really do it to one unit at a time. So it's missile, go, and I don't have a lot of missiles in mind. I had two, so really I just had one and was hoping like I could make it two, but yeah, I'm sitting there like, okay, so maxed out, +1 to run and +1 to charge. I'm doing the field sergeant honor guard thing, whatever. So +2 inches of movement to those witches. So I'm essentially
3-inch
moving.
attack range.
Yeah, I'll use the CP. So I'm moving 17 inches before I charge you. You're not getting away, and then I'm charging you in with 4 attacks. At least when Rend 1, sometimes Rend 2 if Mind Razor's off. Maybe like just here's 60 some odd attacks.
Yeah.
Rend 2 auto crits, just like ridiculous.
Yeah, so if you can get out there before they get any buffs off or anything like that, I mean, it's probably pretty bad.
Well,
imagine.
most of my games you're gonna find out. Like I said, most of the games I didn't win all my games, but most of the games I was 3-drop. Well, I was a 3-drop. Most times people let me go first, even though I told them I can alpha charge you. But anyway, it was a win. I beat Nurgle. It was probably the hardest to get through, but I cracked it. But yeah, it was fun. Nurgle felt like Nurgle.
Good.
Second game, you see it on the same table here. I took the lessons learned, kind of put things together. I was playing against Ironjaws. And this was actually shout out to our club member Brad out down here. Obviously, we've mentioned him before. He helped me and Ed through the first game a little bit because Brad plays Sigmar much more regularly than I have been. And the second game, Brad let one of our club mates. He knows how to play war games, but he's still newer to Age Sigmar, and he just bought off eBay like a really cheap Ironjaws army. So Brad's like, take my Ironjaws, play them. And he kind of gave him a brief rundown, but he let me teach the game. So shout out to Brad for secretly helping me be better at this game very quickly by forcing me to teach a game. Like, and he knew what he was doing. Afterwards, I told him, like, that was good, though. I felt good.
Yeah.
And we were playing shifting objectives.
It's so funny. How far the mighty have fallen. Like, we we used to be the experts at the stuff, So maybe not perhaps in the gameplay, but of the rules and the status of the game. But it's been a minute.
So at the GT during lunch, two friends I haven't seen in a while. One, Roger Barker, great player. A Worlds player for Sigmar, I think for at least 2nd edition, maybe he did 3rd edition too. And Jeremy Vessier, who's also just another phenomenal player out there. They were there, but they didn't play in the event. But they stopped by to say hi because they were both in the area. And even Jeremy's like, "You've been kind of MIA, Chuck. Everything okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just like an old world veteran." Even he was like, "Hey, you know what? You're coming back at a good time because new GHB. This is the real GHB. This is when the true game begins. Now we're gonna get something good. I can feel it, and I'm hoping for that." So, but yeah, I know what you mean. Like he said that, I'm like, oh, that hurt my soul a little bit, but he's 100% right.
Yeah.
Anyway, second game, like I said, teaching game. What made me feel good is it was shifting objectives. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna kind of push up my line as you see it here. I'll let him kind of do tactics. Let's make sure we teach the game. Also, he's not a new player, but it's his first time with his army. Like I'm not gonna be all hyper aggressive. I said I'm gonna buff up this one unit. It's gonna be nasty. So watch out. But and you'll see there's actually there's a proxy model in there, but he had a Maw Crusher too, which did good work. Maw Crusher killed almost all my Witch Elves. It just wasn't enough for them. They had enough weighted dice back to kill it in one go, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like I said, we played, and we just kept running at each other. I was getting kind of lucky too with the shifting objectives. I do want to give a shout out to him because he was playing really well on the battle tactics game. Like, we sat there, I'm like, okay, let's see what you can do. Okay, you can do this. This is how you can accomplish it. If you do it this way, you might make it harder for me to do this, blah, blah, blah. So no drop battle tactics, literally just one because I was just out killing him, which felt odd to be out killing Ironjaws, but also McKilly army. But the avatar, this is where the avatar of Cain in my army started giving me aneurysms. Because one round, the biggest whiff, I felt the breeze off his sword as he just hit nothing. Next round, just picks up a unit. I'm like, what? like there was no in between, and that happened all through the rest of my games, including into the GT.
Wow.
Yeah, but that was the second game of the day. Like I said, I felt good. I felt confident of it. Like, wins are wins and they're fun. But that aside, I felt confident in playing the game, which is kind of where I was at. So that said, I did put some trophies on my bases.
Of course you do.
Of course you do. You got to. So little Ironjaws on the base of the Witch Elves, and then the Doomfire champion. He got the it's a Slaves of Darkness painted up Nurgle helmet, but they were the all-stars of that game for sure. And I started dusting off my models. I was like, okay, because they were dusty, because they sit on display. And then I had a good idea. Now I'm gonna bring it back to us. Now I say good idea. May have had this idea after I had maybe 2 old fashions when I was relaxing. But it turned out to be good, so I repainted it afterwards. That's the problem. It was a good idea. And I did it, and then the next day I woke up, I was like, I'm going to repaint this. But remember how I used to track my win-loss ratio?
Sure.
And then how stupid that is. Don't ever do that. You just drive yourself crazy. So that's why I started doing trophies again, like I should have always done. Like I do in my high elves. That's what Daughters of Cain are getting now. But I said, I do want to represent the games I have won in the past. How do you do it? I'm not going to go back and look through my books. I have them all recorded. I could go back and see and make trophies for all of them, but that would be way too much work. I don't want to do that. But what I did is I had an extra flag. Little Daughters of Cain flag here. Like I said, it's been repainted, so this is the old picture, but hanging off the avatar of my Slaughter Queen, who was at this event with me. A flag, and I just have, well, now it's going to say Grand Alliance, or it says GA with a 3 underneath of it. Then a Roman numeral 1 with a 37, a Roman numeral 2 with a 23, and a Roman numeral 3 with a 30, and then ... So that's the games I've won for the original index book, first, second, and third edition of the Battle Tomes.
Nice.
So I was like, and you know what? It satisfied all the mind goblins I had. I was thrilled. I was thrilled. I'm like, I'm free. I'm finally free.
What a great term, mind goblins. I love it.
Dude, they get like sometimes you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna repaint this whole army real quick, and like you're just like, why? You don't need to, but it's stuck in your head, and you do things like this. Yeah. On to some other hobby though. So you're gonna see on screen this beautiful. Oh, I just realized this leg has some gold on it. I gotta go fix. I hate this. That's why I hate content. You post a picture and you realize you screwed it up. Sorry, there's a little skink priest here, a very old classic model that I have to go touch up a frog leg on because I'm blind. This is a really, really, really classic GW sculpt, and I'm going to reveal something exciting here in a few moments. But other than that, what else I painted this week? Within the past 2 weeks, I should say. My noble BSB on horse.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I can't see the pictures, but I remember you sending that to me. It looks really good.
Gotcha. Yeah, thank you. I'm excited because I loved this kit when I first picked it up. I made a prince with a lance, and he had like a little bit of a, flag off the lance, but it wasn't a BSB. But that was like my original custom character, that Odium and all that sort of stuff. And he's been filling in the role very well. But I was like, you know what? I need a true BSB. So I painted this guy up with that kit. I still have the bits from the other stuff too. I'm like, I don't need anything else right now. So we'll just see what arises. But yeah, like I said, even on this picture, I see some touch-ups I could go do. So I'll probably take care of that sometime soon. But yeah, great kit.
I love the zoom. The zoom, the vein of any tabletop level painter.
Yeah, it's funny. It's actually bigger on my screen than it is on this video by far. Like, you guys in the video probably won't see most of the mistakes I'm seeing because it's like huge on half my monitor right now.
Yeah.
But no, it's great. Then you're gonna notice here you might see that little skink priest in a very old package here next to a very old Lord Vlad von Karstein model, the old like YMCA pose. So my local shop, we always say Norm is the best. Norm is the best. Bring it back to me real quick, and us. He has customers all over the country, like solid customers. Norm is also older gentleman, and he has customers who are also older than him. The downside of that is sometimes those folks will pass away, or in this case, he's in hospice now because not Norm, but the gentleman who maybe had this giant collection, and you get a spouse or loved one, sons, daughters, what have you, who don't know what to do with all this stuff. So I say that for a good reason, kind of like a PSA out there for all of us war gamers. If you have a living will, which I need to go make mine still, but like, as you get older, you have to have that. But as you get older and your collection gets way too big, as you can see in the small corner here, you could do the same if he was in that room. If I was gone tomorrow, my wife would have no idea what to do with all this. Plus, also, that's gonna be the last thing she's gonna even fucking care about.
Yeah.
Have a plan for it. That's all I'm saying. A club to donate it to, auction it off for charity for money or something, or hey, like I said, all my Tayrathi models, well, not all of them, but like some of them, you put them in the casket with me. I'm gonna play some games, I don't mean to get morbid here, but have a plan, because Norm picked up this lot. He filled a 21-foot U-Haul.
Wow.
Now, it wasn't just Warhammer. It was mostly historical stuff he's painted, stuff other people he knows has painted, and he's like, he went, obviously he worked out the deal. He paid the money to buy it. He also is donating, I think, some portion of what he sells out of this towards a charity of the spouse's choice, which I think they're doing it to a Dementia Foundation in this case, which is a great one. Yeah, and the reason she called him is because she found one of his business cards. This happened to Norm quite a few times. That's why you always do business cards too. So as your business, put business cards out. But I remember when he was telling me about this, he's like, yeah, I'll be gone for a few days. I'm like, okay, all good. I was like, is there any Warhammer? And he's just like, no. I said, all right, well, it is what it is. I go into the shop. There was a lot of Warhammer as well. It's just there was so much you just don't know. Like, they're still sorting through it. But back to pictures here. I'm not revealing all the pictures because there's more than even I've posted on social media. But what he's doing is he's taking these. He's essentially going on eBay. If something's going for $50, he puts $40. Like, he's not trying to like rake it in or anything. He's just trying to make money back and make it priced what it's worth. So I got this skink priest for $10. This Vlad von Karstein was like $25. I picked up a few other things today actually. Ska the Falconer, a 4th ed wood elf model I've never seen. Yeah, search SKAW the Falconer. I was like, cool. And I was like on my phone, I'm like, if this is an elf, I'm going to buy it. Because it was like $25. And I also picked up, I have one, but I just want another one. This guy. It's one of my favorite Lord sculpts.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. I love that one.
Yeah, so I'm gonna lavishly paint that one up.
Wow, yeah. I have never seen that model.
Exactly, and I'm like, this could be an elf, or it could be like a crazy human thing, like looking at it. I googled it. He is a wood elf. He's like he's a wood elf that just shuns society of the wood elves and just hang out with birds.
That is slick as hell, dude.
Yeah, I was like, I'll buy him. Sounds cool.
Very cool.
And also, no, he gave me a gift out of this collection too. Did you know Citadel Miniatures had a U.S. branch for a while?
Mm-hmm.
I did not. And now I have a a sealed. It cost $1.79 whenever this was originally priced. Citadel Miniatures US, the Tavern Table and Bench Set. It's 3 wooden tables and benches or something. Here, let me. I have not sent this to you, Neil. Let me send this to you in our chat right now, as it's up on screen for everybody else to enjoy. But it's just one of those. Like what? Like I didn't know this existed. Type crazy shenanigan stuff. Boom, send. There you go. So it's still sealed. I'm leaving this sealed. It's just sitting in my trophy case because I don't need benches. And I feel like this is more a piece of history at this point than anything else.
Oh yeah. Yeah, wow. Just look at that. I mean, I don't recall, maybe I wasn't aware because I don't recall that blue back there on that at all. Yeah, I've never seen something like that. Never.
There was another one he had where it's like kind of ripped up a little more, and it was like the squares with or spiders and stuff on it. But I was like, yeah, it's just crazy. Like it's a piece of history in my mind. So like, yeah, I will keep it safe and sealed because there's no reason to open
That's crazy. Yeah.
Like such 2, you could 3D print that in 2 seconds.
You could. You absolutely could. Yeah. But still, like that's really cool to have. Really cool.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's probably going to be
another reason not to open it, right? Because I could 3D print that for you in a second.
So. Exactly. I'm like, oh, I suddenly need these. Well, I'll just Hey Neil, can I borrow half a cent of resin and $1 of your time?
Right.
But that's a piece of history that's just in my collection now.
Yeah.
So leading in, I guess, to the main topic from the hobby, even though it's all blended together. I went to a GT. And I freak some people out on social media with this picture I have up right now because it looks like I'm crossing a highway with my army in like an open tray, which I kind of am, but it's not a highway. It's a 2-lane road going to the venue. People are like, what are you doing? Like
it's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Got your army up there instead of the groundhog.
Exactly. But yeah, this was the Warpstone Wars put on by the Steel City Sigmar crew. Ben and Seth are the TOs over there. And it's a great crew. Like I said, I went to it last year. Really, it's probably the one I get. I think they do 2 every year. This is the one I can usually get to. Although oddly enough, it keeps bumping up against this trip I have every year. So it's like I have a busy 5 days. As I said, spoilers. I didn't get. I had to drop for the second day due to some family plans, celebrating a birthday for a couple of family members. And it was kind of surprised on me the day before this event. So I'm like, okay, if I do well enough, I'll keep going to the tournament. But if I'm in a position where I won't win any sort of like awards or anything, I'll just back out and drop, and no harm, no foul, and just, whatever. And I
Sure.
said that before I went in because I didn't want to drop because I was not liking the game. That was my worry. You had this too at Brewhammer. Like, This isn't the most engaging game for us so far, but you really enjoyed Brewhammer.
I did, absolutely.
Yeah. Why did you enjoy Brewhammer?
I enjoyed Brewhammer because of the event and the people. I had fun playing my army and everything. That's great. The rules of the game are still not my favorite in the world.
Sure.
So that was something I did not enjoy about it. But everything else, just going to a GT atmosphere, people that you haven't seen in a while, it's all the classic reasons to go to a GT, and so that's what makes it fun. So the at a certain point when you've been in this hobby long enough, the models and the dice are just reasons to get together.
Yes.
Yep.
And having the only events I've technically sort of been to this year being ones where I pseudo ran it. Like pseudo. They were narrative fun events, but I'm still worried about the cooking and all that sort of stuff.
Sure.
I forgot how nice it was to go to a GT and have zero responsibility.
Yeah. You haven't had that in a long while, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
A long while.
Yeah. Well, and everything else you said there is absolutely true. I was seeing folks I haven't seen in a while, saying hi. I won't lie. Like, I was waiting for the round 1 pairings and being like, here we go.
Yeah. I think that's the way everybody feels in round one. I don't care who you are, really.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, it's gonna be a long day ahead. Yeah, that's
because even if you're like a top level player, right? And if you draw the other top level player, that just means one of y'all's not winning the event.
yes.
Right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Quick shout out though before I get to the games. They 3D printed these amazing trophies for all their awards, which is it looks like a Lombardi trophy, but it has a big chunk of warpstone on top of it. Did you see those, Neil? Did I send that to you?
I did not. No.
Oh well, you're gonna get it here because they were just phenomenal, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty impressive. Quickly painted up too, but like looks good.
Oh yeah, that is kind of neat. Yeah. Instead of the football, you got the warpstone there.
Yep.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, and like I said, they were doing lots of stuff. They had obviously best overall. They had Highlanders, so best placing for the type of army I was bringing. I think they had like the best of the middle, best sports, and best painted. So kind of the usual stuff. But all good, all fun. So I drew round one, and I had to laugh before this because I was laughing with Ben Kloss, the one of the TOs. I said, Ben, can I have a normal round one? He's just like, what do you mean? And then he thought I was making a joke about Old World. I said, no, just so you know, every time I've been at the Warpstone or a Pittsburgh event for a GT, my round one, I'm either playing somebody who does not know how to play the game, or I'm playing like Bill Souza or someone that really knows how to play this game. It's been that way every time. And
there's no in-between.
Yeah, and the results are either teeth kicked in or I kicked teeth in. He's like, all right, I'll see what I can do. So the pairings go up. It is random. And I draw Ben Kloss, the TO. He's playing his own event, but he's also a very strong player. And I was just like, damn it.
Yeah.
It was
he won Blue Brawl, actually.
Yeah. He's it was one of those things where I had to laugh about that, but also at the same time, going into the GT, being like that slight nerve, playing someone and really like is like, I'm like, cool. Either way, this is gonna be great. I love Ben. He's a great guy. And I was like, cool. Well, let's see what we can do. Because his list was actually very interesting. It was just all Zangors. And like in the context of the game, that's not the powerful part of this army, or for a Tzeentch army apparently. But yeah,
no experience with that. So.
I have some experience with it now.
How'd it go?
Well, so they don't have like a lot of saves or anything, but they can regrow and all like magic shenanigans. So here's how the board looked at the start. I'll end up my bow snakes are on the far right, and I kind of just put everything kind of hunkered in the middle. Like I'm not sure where to go. It was the one where the objectives start at the corners and kind of move in.
Yes.
And I'm like, cool. I'm Daughters of Cain, and I don't usually live past round 3, so I'm not gonna worry about this. Was getting I felt good. I did pretty good on tactics in this whole event. But on the far left, you're gonna see my witch elves, and I got everything off. Max buffs, and I threw them in, and I made Ben clench because this is like alpha. I'm like, screw it, like let's just go. I threw him in, killed all but 3 of one of his big units of Zangors, and he's just like, and that's like his whole left flank just collapsed. I had to spend a CP and do the fight twice thing, but he couldn't regrow and all that sort of stuff, and he's just like, ooh. I said, okay, all right, I feel good. Pretty good start. I like a good left hook coming out of it.
Yeah.
He fights back, takes out a decent amount of stuff. Like it's like, okay, all right, cool. He then wins the turn, and then just cripples me because I'm on a 6-up board. We did go into like I think top of 3 before like we called it because like I was too crippled. I'm like maybe I can push out a high level of attacks or high amount of attacks. So we I think we went to 3, but I was just like, yep, shook hands. It was good.
Like I love so a lot of my buddies who are big proponents of this particular edition point to the fact that the double turn is not as automatic as it once was. But what my argument there is, if you can get it and you can absolutely cripple your opponent,
you take it.
Then it's every bit exactly what you want to do every
Yeah.
time. And so it's just like, it's still Sigmar, right? It's still,
Yeah.
You have to plan for the double. And if you don't, then all right, then you're in some trouble, right? And it's all the things that they used to say that they hated. Somehow now they feel a little bit better about it. I'm like, it's still the same thing, guys. It's still the same
it's
thing.
still Sigmar.
Yeah.
Like I said, I knew I was overextending, but I'm like, let's just see what happens, because I kind of moved everything up and just went in as hard as I could on like the second round. So, but like I said, I'm 20 wounds at most. Best, I'm getting a 5-up armor typically, and then a 6-up ward. It's just not enough if you have a quality attacks coming back. That said, it was great, and I saw the fear in his eyes. And I think he even didn't realize, because I'm the only one around here that really plays Dodge Cane anymore. And I haven't been playing. So this is the first time I think he saw what the missile can do. And I'm like, me too. I'm like, I've seen it, but I'm like, this was perfect missile.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know what I have to do now. But still, great game. Started with a loss. Oh well.
Which is what you want, if you're a mid-table / bottom table bully.
Yep.
You get that first loss out of there and go play some people that are more your speed.
Exactly. Yeah. Go on to round 2. Colin here. Experienced wargamer. Had a handful of games for Sigmar. He was playing with the new Soulblight book. Now the great thing about this game, because it wasn't even a teaching game, like it was actually very collaborative, because like he's looking at battle tactics and I'm like, well, here, or if you do this, I'm going to try and use this interaction to make it hard for you. Like very collaborative, because like him and I, like, we were just having a great time. We were just there for fun. That's what it was. And also, I was Dodger's Cane, he was Death. The table had Dark Elf and Graveyard terrain on it, so it's like, this is perfect. And then actually, our friend Roger I mentioned earlier, he was there and he knew a little bit more about the new Soulblight book. So he was actually, he's like, Chuck, do you mind if I make the game harder for you because your opponent's missing out on some of his abilities? I'm like, you should absolutely tell him how to play his army in a more efficient way if he's missing something key. And he did that a few times left and right, which was good, because it's like, it's a feel bad if like, oh, you lost this ward because you're a ½ inch out. Like, no, just tighten it up a little bit. We're all good to go. But that said, this is the game where I learned, oh, I can charge buildings.
Oh, yes.
And that felt good. It felt really good. Once again, this is going to be kudos to 2 units here. Once again, my Doomfires decided to hold up the entire left flank for a good bit of the turn. And I had those 5 sisters melee snakes make a long charge. There's a little luck on this. Make a long charge on the far left objective. And this is the one, you have 8 objectives and you can burn or whatever. They made a long bomb charge and held up 600 points of his entire army for 2 turns.
Wow.
Because like they just wouldn't die. And the way they were positioned, like he couldn't get a ton of attacks with them. And it was also, I charged his cavalry unit. The Blood Knights, I guess? Yeah, Blood Knights. Which he had another smaller unit that charged some of my stuff. And when they charge, like extra damage, extra rend, it's crazy. But if you charge them, they're wet noodles.
Yeah.
But, Neil, you're going to remember way back when you were running Neferata. And just how she destroyed my entire army when you and I played. Her alone was just like, nah, I'm just going to kill everything of yours because you can't do anything in the wards and the blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever the rules were. I think it was 2nd edition. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes. I remember that game very well. Yeah.
Yep, that was a solid game. Well, vengeance was mine against Neferata.
She's not the same, to be fair.
Well, she also had a big unit of the new Graveguard in front of her. And a little hero. And I went in and in one go, took out the Graveguard, popped the fight again, took out Neferata.
Nice.
And it was just like, and to be fair, that move, getting that all off, won me the game. I was able to take the win here. But Yeah, I was just like, these witch elves are just like, even when I had Kraith, it didn't feel this oppressive.
Mhm.
Because
Remember, you can't kill that which is already dead. She'll
right,
be back.
exactly. But every game I had to pull out my cell phone, open up the calculator, and go, okay, I have 36 chess X dice. I have this many witch elves in combat times 4 plus 1 because champion minus 36. Okay, here's this. All right, cool. I got 45 more attacks to go. As sometimes the opponents were like, you don't have to. It's fine. I'll take it. And other times it was like they're making saves left and right. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But great game, 1-1. I'm feeling good. Colin and I went and had a beer afterwards. Great time. And here's the table state at the start too. I forgot to take a picture of that, or forgot to switch to that picture. The blue buildings were his new grave sites that he has. The physical ones. He didn't have the model yet, but he had these 3D prints for a terrain set, so he just brought them, and they are honestly pretty close to the size. So I was like, sure, that works.
Yeah.
And then the last game was real curious. I drew against a gentleman named Tim. Tim here, super friendly, super nice. Usually plays Lumineth, but he had Stormcast. And I should probably put the picture of Tim up. There's Tim. Oh wait, actually, hold on. I just realized. Make sure I get the pictures up. Here's the picture of me and Colin in case I didn't have that on screen and I was chatting with Neil. Here's the picture of the start of the game state with my second game that I took the victory on. Now here's Tim in my third game. I'm bad with the pictures, sorry. Super fun, super chill. He's the type of player, like, he's very clean in his play style. Like, calling out his intentions, very precise movements, but not being like hyper anal about it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just a good clean player, and it's like that's fun to play against when you get someone like that. Now he was playing Stormcast, and he was playing Ionis's Army of Renown. So like, he had some prosecutors, he had a lot of the new stuff, like, and then the Annihilators and Ionis, and then he had that new guy with the big griffin type thing. It was really interesting because like that Regiment of Renown loses a lot of bonuses, but he has different bonuses. It was a super fascinating game because I'm just like, and it was shifting objectives, so I was like, okay, this is gonna be fun. Once again, just kind of buffed things up and threw them forward. And it's surprising how much a 3-up armor changes the math with all my attacks, even with my rend. A 3-up armor compared to a 4 or 5-up armor. It's because I felt like I couldn't really kill much. I was able to kill his 2 big dragons, or his dragon Ionis and whatever the guy's name is, the griffin thing, and not much else. I tried. It wasn't for lack of trying.
Yeah, the heavy armor stuff is tough to get through.
It was hard to get through, and like I was plinking things off here and there, but I'm just like, it was a hard fought battle, but it was a great game. He ultimately took the victory there. We were able to math it out. Like I said, I was pretty much tabled by turn 3, and then we were mathing out like his last couple 2 turns. He was actually going to get. He actually got all his battle tactics. He had enough left in it. So, but great game. And here just at the end before it comes back to us, here's the victory. So here's the skeleton head on the base of my banner bearer for my my witch elf unit because they destroyed the Graveguard. So there's my collected trophy for the event. So I mean, in the event, I went 1-2. Over the last 5 games, 3-2. I'm like, okay, I feel like I can at least play this game to a decent level. At least as far as a casual competitive type play goes.
I mean, you win one game in a GT, especially in a place like Pittsburgh over there. You're doing all right. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, I feel confident that I can take my list out and have a good time and not be run over. Because yeah, like so, worst case, I got one missile. Let's see what we can do. But also too, it's like it's kind of like the same, like what you mentioned about Brewhammer. Like, I still like my army. I like what the Witch Elves can do. The only reason I had fun building this list is because I was trying to do the Highlander type option, which was kind of fascinating to build with. And then outside of that, though, it was the players, the game, the atmosphere, seeing folks, making new friends. Also, yeah, the aneurysm of every single game, my avatar either whiffing or just crushing face. Like I said, no in between all three of those next games too.
I've only ever been on the receiving side of the crushing face from the avatars. I can't stand those units.
Well,
I hate them so much. And playing Khorne and having this Korgorath model that probably should do the same thing and doesn't even come close to it, that just enrages me. As a Khorne player, it should enrage me.
Yep,
I should always be enraged. So,
always be raging.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. Listen, when my avatar almost killed all of your one demon prince and the Adepticon, not demon prince, what's your demon name? Bloodthirster.
Bloodthirsters, yeah.
And then I rolled that 6 to fight again, and you're just like, fuck. I hate you. I knew you hated me at that moment.
I was not having a good time. I was having a good time. I was not having a good moment there.
It's like, oh, cool. I'm definitely killing this Bloodthirster then. Great. But besides that, I had a really fun time playing Age of Sigmar, and I'm so thankful for that. Because there's that little bit of worry that I'd go and be like, okay, I knew I was going to have fun with the opponents. Like, that's kind of like a given state. But actually having fun on the table, dealing with the stupid battle tactics, even though they're not my favorite, playing the army the best I can with how I want to play it, despite some lack of what I think is flavorful rules, but still enjoying Sigmar on the table itself was the biggest exciting thing that I took away from this, because it would hurt my soul to not want to play Sigmar again. I left wanting to play more Sigmar. Like, I was sad I had to drop, but also I was 1 and 2, and I made a promise to my wife that if I wasn't doing well, I would drop to go to the party with her. Had a great Sunday too. Like I said, had crab legs and lobster tail. It was a great birthday party. Can't complain. But I kind of wish I was playing Sigmar. Yeah, I like I said, it's not. I feel like I'm not eating crow fully because there's still a lot to be done. But I think the conversations at that event too, seeing that the game is still a valid, fun thing that I want to play. Trust me, I still would rather play Old World more. But if someone wants to play Sigmar, but yeah, absolutely, let's play.
Yeah,
no issues.
It's always nice to have multiple game systems, especially when one game system starts to get a little bit stale with lacking updates and things like that. You don't see, I mean, if you're listening to the podcast, you're not seeing me wink. Let's get after it here, Old World. Anyway, yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and like I said, the conversation around the Scourge of Ghyran, the first, the new GHB for this edition, and all this lead up that they're planning for it, and hearing like I said, Jeremy, one of the competitive players who I respect a lot in that aspect, talking about how he's excited for it because it's going to bring he not that he knows, but he feels it's going to bring a lot to encourage players like me, and also make it to be fair, less boring for players like him. Because from what I've gathered too, talking like between him and Roger, I think they're a little bit bored too with the way you just have to bring the best unit and move on with your day.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will be a new GHB, and I have a lot more hope for it now, and I'm more excited for it than before, honestly. I mean, still, we got a couple months away before it, so
yeah,
we'll get there when we get there. But hey, that tied with new doc models coming out, which I talked about in the news segment with Alex. It's all looking good.
The faces on there look like Who's from Whoville on those models, and I can't with it. I can't at all. I think they're some of the worst elf faces I think I've ever seen. I know you probably love them, Chuck.
I love them.
I hate them so much.
It's listen.
And like originally, I thought, like you said, like I saw the picture, right? I was like, oh, that's cool. And I zoomed on the face. I'm like, ooh, I don't like that at all. Like, I don't know. So
well, it's a mother's love for me, whether you're a bad Daughters of Cain elf face or if you're the merworm from 8th edition fantasy. I am fine with it, and I love and embrace
That's a
them
good way
all.
to put it.
Yep.
It makes complete sense now. So.
Also, just another quick thing to shout out here from the event. I wrote some more Tayrathi lore.
Ooh.
Now, I'm not going to read it all on here because I don't have a good reading voice for it, but just a little glimpse. If you go to strengthhammer.net, that's the website here. That's where all the lore is for all Tayrathi. But I wrote this. It's called the Tayrathian Purpose. And if you kind of read the first part here on the screen, it's about Cain's been silent. She doesn't know what to do. It feels like something's off type thing. As if her heart's not in it anymore. As if she's trying to find a reason to enjoy what she's doing again. And if you go through the story and read it, it actually does. She finds her purpose. It's actually I'm kind of happy with how the story turned out a little bit. But I wrote this and put it out there and posted it the day of the event. Like I said, it was kind of like a hope. I hope that at the end of it, I feel like Tayrathi does at the end of this story where she finds that hope, that reason, that purpose again. And I did. So all encapsulating is perfect. So, but also, I have, this is like the 18th little piece of lore for Tayrathi out there. So feel free to go check them all out. Go to the lore series. You can find them on my on the website there. But yeah, I was just like, I got to write some lore too. So anytime I'm writing lore about Tayrathi, I'm excited, and I got to write some lore for the old world version coming out in here too.
Nice.
So that's the final wrap. Whoops, that's where are we at? Here we are. Nope, that's not what I want. I want boom. There we go. I'll figure out OBS one day and be professional.
But it is not this day.
It is not this day. I'm going to click things left and right and be like, I think I have it right. Nope, I don't. Yeah. Other than that, though, Neil, after this, I'm excited for more Sigmar, but I got a lot of high L's ahead of me, and we got an event coming up in a month.
We sure do.
So how are you feeling with your list? Any changes?
I'm going to take a hard look at it, especially now that the printer's up and running. I don't want to add anything, but I want to make sure that I come in with a full painted army this time. So
that's a great goal.
It's not. It doesn't have to be fully painted for this event, but that was Bush League last time. I don't like to be Bush League again, so whatever I have, it's going to have to be painted, and that'll come first before any kind of ultimate power gaming will come in to play. So
that's fair. I have my list set over there. I think I've tweaked it to the maximum amount I can with what I have. As far with the scope of that, obviously I have a ton. I can change it up, but I was like, okay, this list is done. I don't know how else I could possibly improve it with the play style that it's supposed to represent. And I mentioned this to Alex too a little bit. But I'm building other lists. Like what? Because that's why I like the list building in this. So I want to tune it up. So I'm like, okay, start fresh. Brand new list. Let's assume I don't own a single dragon. What would that list look like? And I start tuning and playing with it, and I'm at the problem because you still you're painting your models. Same thing with Alex. You guys are painting your models, so you have your list in mind. You'll adjust if you need to, so you guys can both be fully painted because he's in the same mindset of that. Whereas mine's completely done, so I just have to stare at it and then go, but what about this?
Yeah.
And then I start the whole process over again. And I'm like, I'm overthinking if I want to take double dragons now. Yeah. I probably do.
If I had the time, which I don't, if I had the time, I think I'd probably run the Grace army.
Do you want me to bring it for you? Okay.
Can't do it.
Okay, that's fair.
It's got to be my own.
I could bring it if you want it, but I understand. I get you.
Yeah, it's got to be my own.
Actually, the other fun thing too, real quick, with this double dragon army, I realized I don't have a Tayrathi model in it, but also it's kind of like good. She shouldn't be witness to this debauchery of bullshit on the table.
Sure.
We'll see because I have a model to paint up for her, but yeah, we'll see because I've floated the idea of like, what if I just bring every Sister Valhalla Lore I have?
Mm-hmm.
What if I have a fun little Phoenix card
You
in
know,
Phoenix list? That's pretty exciting too. But
one thing about the sisters that I keep forgetting to play in the actual game is that they ignore cover.
on their shooting, they ignore cover.
Mm-hmm. And which means they ignore themselves. As long as you have actual line of sight, even if you're covered up, like that back ranks, like half covered up or whatever, you don't get any penalties for that either. They just ignore cover. So when somebody tells you, "I'm going to take hard cover on this," you're going to just say, "No, no, no, you're not."
I have been misreading that too this whole time. It's been well over a year.
They have so many rules. They have so many rules.
You know what's and every time,
one, so.
yeah, and every time you mention stuff like that, I'm like, I was fine without that, and
Yeah.
now I'm like, okay,
okay, let's make these even better now.
Okay, perfect. Right. I was waiting for you to be like, oh, actually, Chuck, did you know that they actually just have full plate and a 3-up ward? I'm like, oh no, I just missed that too. I guess.
Yeah, they got a 2-up ward. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, now I might go back to that sisters list and take a look at that. Oh my goodness. Anyway, it's good. I hope everybody enjoyed, including you, Neil, us not talking fully about high elves for an episode.
Yeah. We just still snuck a few tidbits in there right at the end.
Well, we're prepping for an event, so it'll be there. So, I'm still looking. It's on me, but I want to do a whole episode on Grand Cathay, like the lore and such. And that includes playing the Total War stuff. Learn a little bit more. Have you played Grand Cathay and Total War?
I have not extensively.
Okay.
The aesthetic is not my favorite aesthetic.
Fair. Yeah.
However, I find the models to be very intriguing, but in the game, it's not my favorite because there's just not much that I don't have a lot of nostalgia for Cathay, right? So when I have so much for other things that it's when I'm playing Total War, it's kind of hard to be like, yeah, that's the one I'm picking, and I'm going to spend the next 40 hours playing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how you could have nostalgia for Cathay. Really, I don't. I just love them. I just love I like the Chinese culture.
I do have one other update. I am running a kind of a learning test game with a buddy who's affectionately known as Cheater Brian.
Oh, Cheater Brian! I love Cheater Brian.
God, this is a full-grown adult now, and we're still giving him shit for it. But he's a great guy. He's a great guy, and he's told me he's trying to dip his toe in the old world and everything. But if he likes it and he's thinking he's going to, he is probably going to go all in on that Cathay army when it comes out. So, well,
if I guess a little shout out for not a news segment, but just another great podcast, much bigger than us, Square Based. They're working on I think they're going to do a tournament. Rob's going to do a tournament at the TSN Arena, but there'll be a pack he's going to put out for essentially themed around doing a 500-point army. So people who are, let's see, is this game going to be okay? Do I want to play it? Do I like but enough so you can learn the rules, have a good game, but don't have to do 500 points to start. So maybe that's a good place for him to look at too. Hopefully he'll be out here next couple weeks. I think they mentioned.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm excited. See Brian come back into that. So
yep.
Yeah, but all right. No idea what next week's topic's going to be, but we'll figure it out later. That's for me and Neil to figure out. Maybe me. Depends on if Neil has. Okay, it's me unless Neil has an idea. Because anytime Neil has an idea, I'm like absolutely, because that means I don't have one.
We'll see what we can come up with.
Yeah. We'll try not to make it all about high elves.
Yes. We're done with that for now.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.